It's a question we've been asking ourselves forever. But what if it wasn't just a fantasy? What if we could actually, truly live for 5 whole centuries? Today, that's exactly what we're going to dive into.
No, I'm serious. Just take a second and think about it. What would you personally do with that much time? The scale of it is almost impossible to wrap your head around, but that's what we're going to try to do right now. I mean, the possibilities are just mind-blowing. You could become fluent in 10 different languages. Not just okay, but a true master. You could compose symphonies. You could even travel to another star system. Or hey, maybe you could finally get to the bottom of that to-do list. Because you see, the moment we stretch life out that long, it stops being just a personal change. It becomes a total societal revolution. Everything we just take for granted, family, careers, love, all of it would be completely upended. Okay, so let's start with the most basic thing, our own bodies. The real magic here isn't just about tacking on a few hundred years of being old. No, the key is to dramatically slow down the aging process itself. Right now, aging is pretty much a one-way street, right? Our bones get weaker, memories start to fade, organs just kind of wear out. But in a 500-year life, we're talking about your body's own repair system staying in top form for centuries, keeping your mind sharp and your body strong. And get this leads to the idea of an extended prime. Just imagine having the energy and health you have in your 30s for 200 straight years. That's not just more time, it's more high-quality time. And the domino effect on our health would be absolutely huge. All those diseases we connect with getting old, like dementia or heart failure, they could become incredibly rare. Why? Because the biological decay that actually causes them would be kept in check for centuries. So if our bodies are totally different, you can bet our relationships are going to have to change too. The whole concept of family would just explode into something we can barely even picture today. Just try to imagine it. A family reunion with 8, maybe 9 generations all hanging out in the same room. Your family tree wouldn't be a tree anymore. It'd be a whole forest. And think about what that means for you personally. You could actually meet your great-great-great-great-grandchildren, and they could meet their great-great-great-grandparents. The amount of wisdom and stories passed on directly in a single family would be absolutely immense. But of course, this incredible longevity brings some really tough challenges. That whole "till death do us part" vow, well, it means something completely different when death might be 450 years away. Would marriage even survive? Or would we shift to having several different long-term relationships over our lifetime? And this massive reinvention doesn't stop with our personal lives. It completely changes our professional ones too. The idea of picking one career and just sticking with it for 40 years, it would seem completely ridiculous. I mean, look at a career plan from today, like this one, based on data from national training. It's a sprint, isn't it? You build your foundation, you expand, you try to create a legacy, and you do it all in just a few decades. It's efficient, I guess, but it's also incredibly restrictive. Now let's just toss that old model right out the window. In a 500-year life, you wouldn't just have one career. You could have 5 or more. Spend 80 years as a top neuroscientist, then switch gears and become an architect for another 80. Then you could be a novelist, then an entrepreneur, and then spend a century as a teacher. Each one a full, rich lifetime of mastery. And this isn't just about checking more boxes. It's about the incredible power of combining all that knowledge. An architect who spent their first century as a neuroscientist is going to design buildings in ways we've never even dreamed of. Human potential wouldn't just grow, it would explode. But, and this is a really big but, we have to ask the tough question. Would this amazing future be available to everyone? Because with this kind of longevity comes some really serious risks, especially when you talk about money and power. Let's ground this in the real world for a second. This chart, based on data from the Resolution Foundation, shows how things work even today. The wealthiest people are already about twice as likely to inherit significant money. Now just imagine that wealth growing and compounding, not for 50 years, but for 500. This quote from a Reddit discussion on this very topic really just cuts right to the chase, doesn't it? It captures this deep fear that, what happens when the tyrants and the corrupt leaders just don't die? What happens when that kind of power gets locked in for centuries? The challenges are just staggering. We would be staring down the barrel of extreme wealth gaps we can't even fathom. Retirement as a concept would just evaporate. We would almost certainly have to control birth rates to avoid catastrophic overpopulation. Our entire system of laws and ethics would have to be torn down and rebuilt from scratch. And all of this, all these amazing possibilities, and these terrifying challenges, it brings us to the ultimate question. Is a longer life automatically a better life? Because the goal can't just be to add mere years, right? It has to be about adding more life to those years. A 500-year life filled with inequality and boredom and regret, well, that wouldn't be a gift. That would be a curse.
So in the end, it all comes back to this. If we were handed this incredible gift, this huge expanse of time, what would we actually do with it? How would we choose to fill those centuries? Would all that extra time finally give us the wisdom we need to solve our biggest problems, to become better versions of ourselves, and maybe, just maybe, build a better world? Or would we just keep making the same mistakes over and over again on a much, much longer timeline? Would we use our time to grow wiser, or would we just grow older? That's the question we'd have 500 years to answer.